And so the very final piece of that looks like I found out a way to get up to $1 million in funding from the state to do the remediation of the previous gas station, and then worked with a consultant in the area to be able to draft some sort of management plan so that this plan would be in place. It would monitor the entire remediation, and it would make the lender feel comfortable that everything is going to be resolved in a timely manner. And so, just kind of like step by step, headache after headache, sleepless night after sleepless night, trying to figure out how we could get this deal done and make it a win-win situation for both parties.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Erika, and today I'm excited to be chatting with Casey Roloff. He is a serial entrepreneur, and I think we're going to have a lot to learn from Casey today. Welcome to the show today.
Hey, thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
So Casey, let's dive on in with your story. I know it's a unique one. Can you share with our listeners how you got into real estate and how you knew that that was where you wanted to be?
Yeah, so I'll share a super high level overview, but I am an Army veteran. I was a Border Patrol agent for 17 years. I recently retired in June, and I was able to retire because I found real estate. I found a passion that just absolutely lit me up, and kind of got started on that path. So back in 2015, I started investing in single family homes, and then just incrementally scaled from single family to multi-family, and then now into businesses. So we own about 180 spaces between 3 mobile home parks and an apartment complex, and then we own a pool service and repair business and a med spa, all in Yuma, Arizona.
Wow. And I'm sure that didn't happen all at once.
Right.
And also, Casey, thank you so much for your service there too. Were there any lessons that you had from before you were in real estate, whether it was, being in the Army or being a Border Patrol agent, that you carry with you today as you manage your businesses?
That's such a good question, and a one that I'm rarely asked. But I think that going back to being in the Army, I actually joined when I was 17 years old, and I attended boot camp between my junior and my senior high school summer. And I think I was there for like 10 weeks or something like that. And I think every single day I wanted to quit, but I knew that I had signed a contract, and I didn't have an opportunity to quit. And I just kind of like developed this mindset, or this mental toughness that kind of cascaded throughout the rest of my career, and helped me progress through.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
No matter like what the obstacle was. And so learning something like that at such a young age has certainly helped me be successful.
Yeah, wow. And just looking at what you're doing now, we can clearly see that. Can you share for our listeners, in your opinion, what were some of the biggest pieces for growing and scaling your businesses? How do you manage all those plates you have going on?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is really just not being afraid to dive in, not getting analysis paralysis and wondering about what all of the bad things that could go wrong, but potentially flipping the script and saying like what are potentially all of the good things that could go right, and what could this potential investment or this experience lead to later on in life. And so I really think that obviously getting a baseline education so you know more or less of what you're getting yourself into, and then just pulling the trigger. I think that looking back, I certainly could have tried to find a mentor or somebody that had maybe been there, done that. I didn't do that, and I certainly made countless mistakes. But in the long run, it all kind of worked out to my advantage. The market appreciated. I was able to utilize all of the skill sets and experience that I had learned from being in the military and in law enforcement, and it just helped drive success long term.
Yeah, speaking of education, if you were to kind of start all over, and if you were building a real estate portfolio now, building your businesses, what would you do to set a good foundation?
Yeah, it's funny that you asked that. Another great question, but I always like to say that my secret ingredient is listening to podcasts and getting remotivated day after day after day, hearing all of these success stories and what's possible, because I try to listen to a podcast or a book while I'm working out in the morning, while I'm driving to and from work, and I'll probably listen to somewhere between 2 and 4 hours of podcasts a day, just constantly trying to continue learning. And every time that I hear an amazing story, it fires me up and gets me excited to take on the next task, or to maybe be a little bit more re-energized towards something that I had kind of lost steam on. And so I definitely say that just going out there and listening to all of the free education that is readily available to everybody is definitely that first step to figuring out where you want to go and how you want to get there.
Yeah. Speaking of which, with what you have going on, Casey, where do you want to go, or what are you most excited about right now in the real estate world?
So I certainly think there's seasons in life, and from your early 20s to 30s, it's all about the grind. You don't have a lot of experience, you don't have a lot of money, and so you're trading that time to gain that experience and that money. And then as you move into your 30s to your 40s, you're transitioning from being a solo, like an individual, into potentially a husband or a wife, and then a father or mother, and so your priorities shift a little bit, and so then hopefully you've put in all of the work.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
At that early on in your life, that you're able to leverage all of that time that you have spent gaining experience, and you're kind of start to flip that balance of the time and energy you put into things. So hopefully your dollar per hour is increasing as your life was progressing, even into your 40s and 50s, to where hopefully you're starting to transition into things that only give you the most energy and only give you the biggest sense of purpose on a daily basis. And so I'd say that with that kind of concept in mind, that I'm really trying to offload a lot of the things that no longer give me energy. And so I currently have a portfolio of Class C properties that the amount of drama that I deal with on a weekly basis, whether it's unreliable residents, or it's just bad things happening to people in the community. I'm wanting to offload some of that and then get into more of a Class B and a Class A, to where you have a more stabilized. Maybe your returns aren't quite as good, but it's a lot less work on the day to day. And so I'm really trying to transition my focus into that type of asset class.
Looking at the experience that you've had, Casey, I'm sure there's been a moment. Maybe it could have to do with the mobile home parks, but maybe you had a deal that went sideways. Maybe you had to completely pivot. Can you share one of those moments on your journey and what you learned from it?
Yeah. So off the top of my head, the first one that comes to mind is my three mobile home park portfolio in Kentucky. So I've been managing these properties for the last 4 years, from several thousand miles away, which isn't always the easiest thing, because you're relying on team members to bring your vision to life, but you don't necessarily have that day-to-day accountability that you would if you were working with that person in the same city at the same time. And so we we actually put all of those properties for sale, and have had them under contract for about 18 months, and should be closing next week. But there's always some sort of a hurdle that has to be overcome. And so through the buyers not being able to receive funding, through getting sued because they only wanted to buy one of the properties, not all three, and then renegotiating and getting it going again, and then finding out that after an environmental survey, that one of the parks had a gas station on it, and the lender would not lend because we found contaminated soil and it needed remediation, et cetera, et cetera. It was just a constant battle of like asking how we could get this deal done, versus just throwing our hands up and walking away. And so the very final piece of that looks like I found out a way to get up to $1 million in funding from the state to do the remediation of the previous gas station, and then worked with a consultant in the area to be able to draft some sort of management plan, so that this plan would be in place. It would monitor the entire remediation, and it would make the lender feel comfortable that everything is going to be resolved in a timely manner. And so just kind of like step by step, headache after headache, sleepless night after sleepless night, trying to figure out how we could get this deal done and make it a win-win situation for both parties.
Yeah, that's always what we're looking for is win-win, Casey.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Maybe this is just my own curiosity, but maybe the listeners here are kind of curious too. When it came to that issue with the soil, how did that happen? How was that discovered?
Yeah, so some lenders they have stricter due diligence items that need to be required or that need to be completed than others. And so when I purchased the parks, there was no environmental survey requirement. And quite honestly, I didn't even know what an environmental survey was or how that could potentially impact the future sale of the property. And so it was identified through a phase 1 environmental survey. It was determined that there was a gas station that was operational. I think it was between 1969 and 1974, and there was evidence that there were holding tanks still on the property. And so then that kind of progressed a stage 2, and the identification of the contaminated soil, and kind of so on and so forth.
Yeah, and then so then you were saying that there's now a fund through the government that will help take care of that. Is that supposed to be a smooth process, or what stage is that in?
It it is actually pretty smooth, because there are consulting companies that completely manage, like that this is their job to manage the remediation for these types of projects. And so the state funding that I receive is basically reimbursing the consulting company for the management of the entire remediation process. And so as far as the amount of work on my end, it's been very little. It has just been, signing applications to receive the funding, signing the bids and the proposals to move forward, and checking in with the consulting company periodically to make sure that everything is moving forward, in a timely manner.
Yeah, that's a relief that, at least with all the headache that you had before, that part's pretty smooth.
Yeah, I mean the alternative is if that funding wasn't received, then what kind of an impact does that have on the property? Like what kind of an impact does that have on the financial well-being of that property, and what are the implications of that? So definitely nice to know that there are resources out there that kind of help homeowners or property owners out.
Yeah. Yeah, and not necessarily that your network could have help in this situation, but when you do go through tough times, it is really good to have a network. For you, Casey, where do you network, and what's made the biggest difference for you with leveling up and building relationships?
Yeah, I love that question. So I'm a giant fan of Pace Morby, guys like Brandon Turner. That's how I got into mobile home parks. But I'm a member of Pace's SubTo community, and then I've also elected to be a part of his owners club, which is about 500 members of very high performing, highly experienced entrepreneurs in the real estate space. And I've just been able to surround myself with them And every time that I have a question, or every time that I might need some sort of a partnership, or to be able to leverage a different skill set, I have a community where I can reach out to. And there is somebody in that community that has probably done 10 times of what I'm asking. And it's so amazing having a resource that you can reach out to at in any given time, and finding the answers to your problems.
Yeah, that's awesome. If someone's looking to join a similar group, how should they vet that group? What should they look for?
Certainly referrals. You want to make sure that you are aligning with the members of that group. And so I think when you're looking at this, there's going to be all sorts of different mindsets, and you really just have to make sure that once you start like peeling the layers of this mindset, that there is depths to it, that there are people that are in this group that share a lot of the same values as you do, because you don't want it to be a one-off instance where this person you align with and you make a giant investment to be in that community. You want to make sure that you've vetted appropriately and really talked to a lot of people that have only raving things to say about the community.
Yeah, totally. Well, all the advice that you've given today for our listeners has been really solid. If someone today wants to connect, reach out, learn more, maybe collaborate on a deal, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Yeah, I think that the best way is either Facebook or Instagram. I have the same handle on each, and it's just my first name, dot my last name, so Casey dot Roloff. And I would be happy to connect and help anybody else progress their family legacy.
Awesome. Well, again, Casey, thanks for being on the show and inspiring our listeners what's possible in real estate.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
And for our listeners, if you got value from this episode, make sure that you're subscribed to the Real Estate Pros podcast. We've got more conversations lined up with experts like Casey, who are out there building fantastic real estate businesses. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.